few are chosen. You may say to me, Paula, how can you know? You are not one of us. You are not Liberian. To that I say this. There is one body in Christ, whether in Liberia or America. What happens to one part of the body happens to all of the body. I speak to you not as a Liberian and not only as an American, but as an oracle of the Most High God, the one who grants blessing and life. I can list the many natural things that Bokai will do to improve Liberia. Economic initiatives, such as his extensive trade relations and introductions of new technologies, as well as the stability he will bring to the democracy of Liberia. But there is no more important thing I can mention than this. Joseph Bokai has made a clear covenant with God to tend to his people and to look after his church. This matters more than any initiative. For if God be for you, who can be against you? As God said unto Balaam in the book of Numbers, what I have blessed, no man can curse. God is looking to bless you, Liberia. So obey him and choose the one who will care for his church. God has given you free will, and he has also shown you his desire for your nation. As the Lord says in Deuteronomy 30:19, this day I call the heavens and the earth as witnesses against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life so that you and your children may live. I am watching. America is watching. God is watching. Choose life.
And in my rural village, they elect some semi-illiterate individual, and everybody knows he is not wise. But the day after his election, when he attends a forum, those who invite him to speak will say, let so-and-so whom we elected yesterday share his wisdom with us. And I want to assure you that there is no magic in the ballot box. If you are a dunderhead, the mere fact that you have been elected does not convert you into anything. You just remain an elected dunderhead. And Africa has no shortage of dunderheads who are leading her in the wrong direction.
That we will not subject ourselves to the beggars of God. And the little girl on a question is a political juvenile, and a Johnny just come to the Ministry of Youth and Sports. She does not understand the rudimentaries and the fundamental basis of the formation and statutory functions of the Ministry of Youth and Sports.
I was reading in the newspaper, someone said, Liberia people will get Jawia one-term president. But on this birthday, I want to say to them that God will make sure that that mouth will be closed. I will defeat them more than 2018. Because I am the voice of the Liberian people, and the Liberian people love me.
Commerce and friends, militants and cadres, progressive journalists, intellectual masses class and juggernauts of the Revolutionary Vanguard Student Education Party, having returned from the Black Hawk Akota in the Tabarian Pit, in the catacombs of struggle, and having attended to this place, this intellectual Swa, this intellectual Gasabu, this intellectual Hagia Sophia, this intellectual Apocrypha, the innocent queen and the Santos Atom of the Revolutionary Vanguard Student Education Party, acting in the capacity of Secretary General of the 34th for the Bureau of the Vanguard Party. Permit me to convey to you the warm revolutionary salutations of the most powerful man in the campuses of the University of Liberia, come a leader, come a teacher, come a cadre chairman, to D.S. Moba. There was an act of subversion against the Roman state. He said the words in a Latin, the dawn is past. Come a chairman, this is the movement, this is the history we are about to make. You are the man of the era, come a chairman. The Liberian masses are listening. Every one of the people are listening. Come a chairman, this is the movement. Tell the whole story. Aluta, fire.
I did not want to state this on the microphone. I have committed myself not to be where President Weah is. As a senator, every function where the president is, I would dare not to go there so we can maintain some level of respect.
That I didn't need to worry anymore. I became a happy man. And because of that, I'm very happy today. I see our people smiling all over the place. Like one person said, the mosque is all over the place. More than 350 mosques, I understand. So that's all we have to be happy for. And my sister said, let us love each other. And we of the fact that if you don't hold each other strong, nobody's going to hold you at all. I beg you, remain steadfast and remain committed to one another. No matter what happens. I thank you very much.
For me, I ride back on the main road based on traffic. That's the reason I take the female from it, because passing between car when there is traffic. If you pass it between car when there is female, sometimes it can be the cause of you making accidents.
You even know what I might. You come in and now you say a wicked woman. You the time you were sleeping with a woman, the boy.
Hello.
Your woman in the hospital said I want wicked according on. How you expect me to just say because you had 9 months to know that your woman was delivered. I know about you coming one day you say my woman in the hospital come up pay a hospital bill. How could you say a wicked 2029 coming 2029 make it come? So we can see all that tolerant of police so we can fight. That human being a medical win. All the weapons you say you got, and I work from, we will show tangible. When it comes to intellectualism, we will bring it forth. When it comes to the debate, we will bring it forth. The only thing when you resort to this sort of honor that they will know you weak.
You're weakling.
Weak, so we can talk to you. But bring the issue, let's debate it. Bring the issue. One thing I know you will not say, there's one more. Let me say I EF, you just not use that word. If you say one thing you will not say, then we might know what to say. I want about the law. The law. If you can't get nothing from nobody, when you're having conversation or debating issues with people, they should be able to bring something that you will learn from. If nothing is there, don't waste your energy. Don't waste your time. And so 2029 is not now. It's 3 years away. We were elected to serve the people. This is what we are doing. When the time comes for election, we'll pull our political campaign, we'll go on the battlefield. When that time comes and we say, when the people say we want to renew your mandate, it's not us though. It's got to be the people who will say we want to renew that mandate. And if we accept to go forth for the mandate to be renewed, we'll play our political shoes, we'll get on the battlefield. So we will go back and forth and let's see who will win. We're not telling nothing. 2029, the only thing we should be praying for at this point is long life, good health. At all. When the time comes, we'll go. If we're supposed to go there, we'll go there. We're not scared. We're bring on the autonomy, we'll stand up. Not that of nothing.
I know of no safe depository of the ultimate powers of society but the people themselves. And if we think them not enlightened enough to exercise their control with a wholesome direction, the remedy is not to take it from them, but to inform their direction by education. Join Love FM 105.1 and Love TV Live for for the program, The Afternoon Conversation. We provide you a platform for open dialogue and intellectual exchange. We encourage listeners to think critically, challenge their perspectives, and explore different viewpoints on various subjects by fostering a respectful and inclusive environment. The Afternoon Conversation on Love FM 105.1 and Love TV Live from Monday through Friday, 2 to 3:30 p.m. Don't miss out.
Good afternoon. It's always a pleasure being here to do the things we are called to do and doing it to the best of our ability is what we're up for every time we seize the opportunity. My name is Rufus Divine Khan, and I'm here again to talk about something very important. This time around to talk about the young people. This morning we started on the discussion, and it is prudent that we continue to hear from you, the young people. And we've written an open letter to the Minister of Youth and Sports. We're going to give you an overview of what we wrote and what the Ministry of Youth and Sport is all about. And trust me, it's all going to be useful discussion this afternoon because vast majority of our population is characterized by young people. And for sure, if the young people, like I always say, if the minds are not developed, the eyes will never appreciate the works of the hands. So in as much the young people are seen as future leaders, what are those things that we have put in place to get the young people prepared for the future? Yes, the future. Say the young people are future leaders, but what have you set aside to transform them and prepare them for the future? So this afternoon, we've coined a topic that we will be looking at this wonderful day of February the 26th, 2026. We know some of our friends are graduating. Others graduated yesterday. Others are today and tomorrow. The microcosm of society is supposed to graduates. Now these people are coming into the larger society. These people are coming into the business. These people are coming into the employment cycle. How prepared is our economy to absorb these people? So this afternoon, we are looking at national youth development. And sub to that, we say, how can the introduction of a national youth mentorship program help transform the youths of Liberia? How can the introduction of a national youth mentorship program help transform the youths of Liberia? So that's what we're going to look at this afternoon. We expect your full participation. We ask that you young people gathered here, let's talk about what we are faced with, the challenges and the prospects as well. And it's encouraging that you call a friend to tell a friend, and let's do it together. John Kessler, thank you so much for joining. And he's following from 12 Skid Sinker. So basically, we're going to begin with the Ministry of Youth and Sports. The Ministry of Youth and Sports was actually established by an act of the National Legislature in 1982 as the Ministry of Youth and Sports, giving it mandate to guide youth affairs and sports development in Liberia. So the establishment of the ministry all started in 1982 with an act of the legislature. And the core function of the Ministry of Youth and Sports is to lead and coordinate national youth development and sports policies, programs, and activities to empower young people, build civic consciousness, and support sports development. So that's the work of the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Most of you may not know what it is or what are the functions of the Ministry of Youth and Sports and how the Ministry of Youth and Sports actually came into being. That's why we thought it wise to give you an overview of that. So this afternoon, while pondering and doing a little research on this topic, I came up with an open letter to the Minister of Youth and Sports, someone who is a young woman, a counselor, of course. She has youth with experience. She served in various capacity at the level of political party and that of the national level. So quite frankly, we thought it wise to do an open letter, and I'm going to read it shortly. Now, this is what we wrote. We said an open letter to the Honorable Minister of Youth and Sports. Subject: recommendation for the introduction of a national youth mentorship program. And I said, Honorable Minister, I extend warm greetings and commend you for your continuous efforts and commitment towards advancing youth development and sports excellence in our nation. Your leadership plays a vital role in shaping opportunities that empowers young people and strengthen the future for our society. I write to respectfully recommend the establishment of a structured national youth mentorship program under the auspices of the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Such a program will serve as a strategic platform to connect experienced professionals, leaders, athletes, and entrepreneurs with young people who seek guidance, directions, and inspiration as they navigate their personal and professional journeys. A well-designed mentorship initiative will provide numerous benefits, including we listed thematic areas, and these areas to include, we said, capacity building, which will equip young people with practical knowledge, leadership skills, and career guidance. We also went on to say positive role modeling. So now understand that we have role models in the society. There are young people who are out there, see people who are in the various disciplines as the role model. So having a positive role modeling will connect youth with mentors who embody discipline, integrity, and excellence. We went on to say on our next thematic area, we said crime and risk reduction. We know very well our society, now we see crime at the high rate, and young people are fully involved into those crimes. So we say crime and risk reduction, that will actually engage young people's minds constructively and steering them away from negative influences. We also talk about talent development. We were identified in nurturing promising talents in sports, leadership, and innovation. We also talk about the national scene, which has to do with national growth. This will actually build a generation that is prepared, responsible, and capable of contributing to meaningful national development. And furthermore, I went on to say the program could be implemented through partnerships with educational institutions, sports federations, private sector organizations, and civil society groups. Structure, mentorship sections, workshops, internships, and community engagement projects could form part of its operational framework. Additionally, incorporating mentoring and that's monitoring and evaluation system will ensure accountability, effectiveness, and continuous improvement. Honorable Minister, investing in mentorship is an investment in the nation's future. By institutionalizing such a program, the ministry will not only strengthen youth empowerment initiatives, but also leave a lasting legacy of leadership development and national transformation. And I concluded by saying, I respectfully urge your office to consider this proposal and explore the possibility of initiating consultations to implement. I remain hopeful that under your stewardship, this vision can become a reality that positively impacts countless young people. Thank you for your time, consideration, and dedication
to advancing our youths. Respectfully yours, Rufus Divine Cannon. So that's it. That's my open letter to the Minister of Youth and Sports. We're talking about youth development. Let's look around us. This morning, I made mention of several things and some opportunities we had along the way while we were growing up as kids in high schools. We have peer counselors. We have people who now today we can say we are part and parcel of the growth and development of our country through what we've chosen as our career. And we saw people in these areas of specialty that we hop onto, and we got ourselves engaged with them personally, and they mentor us to be where we are today. But quite frankly, when it comes to mentorship in our country, one of the things, or one of the questions I always pose to us, how many young people are willing to be mentored? How many young people are willing to be mentored? And how many of you professional people are willing to mentor young people without a screen attached? Yes, a lot of you have screens attached to your mentorship, for which, of course, when you mentor someone into a professional terrain, what's going to happen? That will live on, that legacy of yours will continue to live on. But most of you nowadays, you look at personal gratification, and, you look at financial gains and all these things, forgetting to know that you are building a society. You are contributing to the growth and sustainability of the society that you want to see. A lot of our professionals, they are aging. They no longer have the energy to sit on the radio. For instance, my own profession, journalism. Most of the elderly people you once heard on the radio and saw on the television or had interviews with ministers and all those people, they are aging. Some of them they no longer have the ability, the strength to carry on the normal routine as a journalist. So they are backstage now. The young people who they mentor, those young people who are willing to be mentored by them, their mentees, are now taking charge. The mentees are now taking charge. I was so glad, and I saw one of my professional colleagues in person of William Hammond. He wrote a piece on his social media handle, appreciating his boss, Mr. Bess, for the level of cordiality and mentorship he's provided to him that got him to be where he is today. I was so amazed. I was so glad to have seen at least somebody coming by to show that gratitude, as a young man showing that gratitude to somebody who helped him shift his professional career today, and some of us, we have always said this, appreciating people, those who guided us in the process, the likes of Gerald Cummings, the likes of Sylvester Rennie. You just go about naming those people who have helped us along the way, and they are still guiding us, along the way, though we found ourselves to where we are today, but we still have people who serve as our mentors. Most of the positive things, sometimes when I sit as a young man, some strenuous time comes, you want to give up. But when you have someone in your life who have the experience and have that moral and consciousness, integrity, you look up to them for guidance. I have as my mentor, Mr. Alkina R. Phillips, who based there in the USA. This is someone who I have that conversation with, father to child conversation. He mentored me in so many areas. And he guided me in the process and get me to understand the things that I saw as, just as ordinary, how important they are to my growth and development. So some of the things you see us doing in the positive direction, this is where the knowledge, this is where the guidance comes from. So you as a young man, you as a young woman growing up in a professional setting, or you haven't had the opportunity to decide on what you want to do,
as a career, you have somebody, maybe you have the admiration for that field, look for somebody in that terrain with integrity. Look for somebody in that terrain with morals to serve as a mentor. Reach out to them. And through the mentorship, you as a mentee, you will grow up to become who you want to be, God first. But how many young people now are willing to be mentored? How many young people are willing to serve as mentee to their mentors? Today, we listen to the radio, we hear a lot of, stuff on the radio, because you and this person who have spent a longer time on the radio, you both are seated on platforms or separate platforms. You think that you have, you have reached your stardom. The man sitting on radio, so you are saying you're sitting on radio, so you don't pay that respect, you don't pay that courtesy. Come on. You are still in the learning curve. There are things that you ought to do that you are not doing. So when that colleague of yours, that person who listened to you, reach out to you and tell you, look, this is something, you should have done. This is a word that you did not pronounce well. Accept it, take it in good faith. A lot of you don't look in that direction. As a young person, you are in the learning curve. You feel that, oh, come on. Many a times, sometimes senior brothers who listen to us, the likes of Babison, the Congenial Harris, let me say to him a speedy recovery. He's not too well. As I learned, the sickness is actually getting serious. So we say, a speedy recovery to you, senior brother. And at one point in time, some part of last month or so, he called me and said, Divine. I said, who is it? He said, oh, Babison. I said, oh, senior brother, how you doing? Long time I haven't heard from him. And he said, thank you so much. I appreciate at least some of us can be proud today that we still have young people who we mentored are doing exceedingly well. And our voices through them can be heard. So thank you so much for the good work. And I felt so relieved in my spirit. Somebody who have made his name, somebody who have actually provided knowledge over the period of time. Now, due to illness, and aging, he no longer have the ability and the strength to sit on radio like he once did. So we, the young people who listen to them and they mentor us, we have the time and energy to do those positive things that they taught us to do. You see that? So a lot of you, sometimes we've been reached out to by some senior brothers in the field, like Mr. Hassan Kewu, one who always listens to almost all of the radio stations. He listens to young people and those kind words, those information that are needed, pronunciation, enunciation, all of those professional, style and stuff like that has to do with the profession. He guides you in the process. But mind you, some of our friends take offense to those kinds of things. Oh yes, some of our friends take offense to those kinds of things. So at the end of the day, you feel that because you have been heard on radio or been witnessed on television that you have arrived. No, you are still in the learning curve. Every day of your life, you learn new things. So be open to correction. So you need mentors. So that's why we've preferred to the Minister of Youth and Sports that we have the introduction of a national youth mentorship program through the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Because, mind you, your job is centered around young people. Your job is centered around young people. So if you can see this as a means, as one of your tools to make your presence felt, it would be so rewarding, and you will be marked in history. The legacy will continue to live on because, mind you, those who have had the opportunity to serve in that line, they are not taking serious the issue of this kind of recommendation. So they just look at one aspect of the duty and responsibility of the ministry. Like we told you initially, the main function of the ministry is to lead and coordinate national youth development and sports policies, programs, and initiatives to empower young people, build civic consciousness, and support sports development. You see? So these are things when you have mentors, professional people around, going to schools, going to institutions, providing mentorship, serving as guidance to upcoming professionals that will help to transform the society. We have, like this morning I mentioned, you have young people who have the charisma, they have the creativity. Like you have 2 major gatherings in a month. They call one the brunch, right? And the other one is the gathering. So these young guys put their ideas together, knowing very well this is a season and era where you have the Gen Zs. The Gen Zs are active when it comes to entertainment. They are so hype when it comes to technology and all kinds of stuff. So these guys thought it wise to put together this plan every last Sunday to have entertainment where young people will go and gather themselves, they'll drink and merry-make. So you can transform that gathering. Into something. You can make an addition to the gathering that will create the environment for education, not just for you to go there and wear all of the mini skirts, not for you to go there and drink the alcohol and all the stuff. No, but being there at the gathering or at the brunch can also serve as a means of eye-opener to educative ventures. You see? So the minister getting engaged with some political party was a very positive venture. That is a welcoming statement. And we shouldn't see it from a political standpoint. Oh, what you want to show, like I listened to Alvin Wieser on that was so demeaning of him. And these are people who want young people, it's no affront, always want young people to be subjected to their ideology and not to develop themselves for positive growth. Because regardless of the person being a novice, as you put it, getting to a position she have not had before, getting there and welcoming other young people who have ideas for transformation of the young people of the society, this should be one of the points where you should take advantage of, and showcase your love and respect and regard for the transformation of young people. It's not about gathering young people and chanting battle crowds and slogans. That is not youth development. So this is something that we want to say to you consciously, that in as much we want an educational transformed society, we should begin with the young people. What are those programs? What are those ventures that we have in store? Reaching out to them, mentoring those young people. There are a lot of people right now, if you do your survey, go to schools, high schools in this country. Ask these kids, the ones that are from 10th grade, let's say 10th grade up to 12th grade. Ask them, upon graduation, what would they love to do? Some of them, they will mix, because their friends are saying, when I graduate, I want to be a nurse. Some are saying, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a journalist. Others are saying, no. But now, come to think about it, the subjects that you are good at in school, are they related to your plan you have for your profession? So if you have that mentor, if you have that mentorship program where mentors will go out to mentees and get them on track, definitely we will see transformation in our society. Trust me, most of the people that you see, if not all, the young people that are going astray, it is through their own friends, their association, that have brought them to where they are today. It did not happen overnight. The association with friends. So tell me now, they say, show me a friend, I will tell you who you are. Breast of the same fellow flocks together. If I am a young man, as a young adult as I am, I'm always associating with people who don't have morals, people who whenever you're around them, all they talk about is negativity, They do not have any plan for future. They just think about today. Definitely, that's the kind of lifestyle I will develop. That's the kind of mindset I will develop. But if I come around friends who, whenever I'm around them, they talk about positive things, they talk about building their minds, they talk about transformation in a positive direction, definitely I will adapt to that system. I will adapt to that environment. And for every time, even when I'm alone, I will always try to be innovative. That's the kind of society we need. That's the kind of environment we want. So the youth and sports ministry has a lot to do. So the introduction of this national mentorship program will serve as a driving force. Will serve as a driving force. When we were growing up, we saw vacation schools. During vacation time, we saw vacation jobs afforded to young people. Say, okay, during the vacation, instead of you being home all day, okay, you want to be a journalist. Okay, what we would do through the Ministry of Youth and Sports, we had this Young Men Christian Association, the YMCA, and also the YWCA. The YMCA was out there. For those of us who were members of the YMCA at the time, during the vacation, we would choose which kind of area we want to go. They had thematic areas of specialty. Maybe you're thinking about being an accountant, you're thinking about being a journalist, you're thinking about being, just the various sectors. They went and negotiated with these institutions so that those members of the YMCA had the opportunity during vacation to go and serve as cadets in those areas, to have first-hand experience. So when we were growing up, we had that experience. We had the opportunity through the Young Men Christian Association, the YMCA, where we have vacation job afforded us. We will go there, to acquire some of the things that are done there, to have that kind of working experience. Now you graduate from high school or you graduate from college, you have not had any working experience. The first thing your employer wants, you want 5 years experience. You were in school, you never had the opportunity to go and experience those things. But just upon graduation, you apply for a job. They're telling you want 5 year experience. Where are you going to get a 5 years experience from? So that's why through the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the mentorship program they will create, you will have them negotiating with institutions. These institutions will make available space during vacation to absorb these young people, to carry on the mentorship, to acquire the knowledge, from the working environment. These are things that we want to see the Ministry of Youth and Sports engaging in. We have young people with talents. They have this, some of them are athletes. Get them, say, look, come on, I see this talent in you. You have that raw talent. Let's get a mentor for you. This person will mentor you, bring you up in the way you are to grow, so that we safeguard that profession, or we safeguard that gift that you have. Now, as I learned, there is a scouting organization that is to come sometime, I think April next month, to Liberia to scout young talents. And I must appreciate those people who have the academies around here where the kids go to practice electives and all those kinds of stuff. It is a very good thing. You see the talent in the child, you get that child to get on mentorship. So these are things that the Ministry of Youth and Sports need to get in collaboration with the gender ministry. Most of the kids you see in the streets during school hours. So there should be a collaboration, a pilot project where the Ministry of Youth and Sports, in collaboration with the Ministry of Gender, you can get to coordinate and get this mentorship program running, where you take kids from the streets. You see raw talents in them, you provide to them mentors. You create the avenue for them that to go and experience some of these things. Some of them, they have the dream to become who you are. So when you create that enabling environment for them, the country will never have shortage of professionals. So if I'm in school, like for instance, from 10th grade, I'm in school from 10th grade, and every vacation, I have the opportunity to go and experience the work environment. Gradually, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, upon graduation, what happened? I may have the total amount of what? 3 years experience. 3 years experience in that area. Though it may not be as high as required, but at least I may have had the experience, of 3 years by my vacation school opportunity. So these are things that we want to see. We want to go back to the old order where young people were afforded the opportunity to explore their God-given talents. Young people were opportune to have people who will guide them, who will shift their mindset. But you have a society that is so much disturbing. Everybody, come on, no discipline, no integrity, morals, all lost. So the Ministry of Youth and Sports, you have a lot to do. And in accomplishing your mandate, this is another way in which you can do it, by creating a national mentorship program. You have people there at TVEX institutions. They do not have mentors. They just go to these places. You go and see, oh, then my friend, he's doing carpentry, so myself, we are going to. Do you have the passion for carpentry? Do you have the patience? Oh, I see my friend wearing scrub, so I won't be nice too. Are you prepared for that? Do you have the passion for nursing? Do you have the ability for that? Some of us, we saw that, we gained admiration from listening to the radio and watching television. There were great people that we saw, the likes of the late Victoria Christopher Cooper, the likes of Kwame Clement. I mean, even now, the Babison Harris, we heard them on DC. You had the likes of Quincy T and all of the big guys back in the days. So we grew the admiration for the journalism field because these people paved the way. Their presentation skills, all these things caught our attention. They said, look, I have the voice. I can build up on this voice, but I need somebody to connect with to put me through. That's how we got connected to people like Sylvester Renning and Gerald Cummings. They love FM. Some of us are today. This is where my foundation in journalism started from. So today, being from a cadet state, I'm not taking up the time to brag, but I'm telling you life reality story. From a cadet stage, grew up through mentorship, and I've had positions from one level to the other. And today, serving as the head of this institution, time, prayer, dedication, commitment brought me to where I am today. It did not happen overnight. So some of your friends who are passing around here, because you see the person doing it, so you say you will do your own too. But are you willing to go through the strenuous times, the difficult times? Do you have the patience? Do you have the sense of belonging, the endurance to go through what that person have gone through? So if you have a mentor, your mentor will guide you through that process. But if you are lacking a mentor, you are just like a flying cat with no control. Almost someone will say a stray dog, because wherever every step you take, if you are guided, what's going to happen? You make mistakes. So when you are corrected, it makes a better version of you. So that's how some of us, we find ourselves to where we are today. And yet still, with all of the years we've spent, 20 plus years in the field, we still look up to people for guidance. Because every start, every day of your life is another opportunity to learn new things. Do you know that even the people who were in the field before, at the time, now we have the involvement of the social media. Those people who were in the field before, they are now well versed in the area of the technology. because we are going through the world of, the world is digitized now. So gravitating from one level to the other, most of these people, they are struggling now to actually navigate the way through. So you, the younger ones, you have first-hand, knowledge concerning the technology. You are tech freak, you are tech-oriented, unlike the elderly ones who were in the profession before. So now they are learning from you. You too also learning from them. You see how it works? So it's good to submit. Submission, obedience. These are things that we want to see in our society, that now a young man will not see himself as a Lord and gospel. Whatever he does, he feels that he's right. No. That's why we continue, some of us, we continue to say that the radio, we need the press union of Liberia to get more engaging. Because it is through the radio our people get information. And this is the information that they use to make decisions. So if we have people seated on the platforms, the various platforms, and using invectives and spreading out misinformation and disinformation, and at the end of the day, abusing the minds of our kids, playing songs that are not of good content. Come on. Movies that are not of good content, that will disturb the minds of the young people. What's going to happen? Trust me. In other countries, the social media is fully monitored. That's why you see, technology-wise, when you go to buy a new phone, they will ask you as to whether it is you, the adult, that is to use the phone, or your child. Go now and get a new phone. That's the first thing that will spark up on the phone. Is that you're going to use the phone or your child? So if you say your child, they will have features on that phone that you can control that child's usage. The very things that you want that child to monitor, because nowadays the children are so tech-free. By 4 years, 25 years this year, son, that little child has his tablet. He knows wherever his games are. He knows where to go and get his songs. If you want to listen to songs, he knows where to get it. 4 years old little child. You seen it? So they are tech freak. This is the dispensation they are born in. So they need that guidance. You as a parent, you also need to play your parental role. You say, oh, I'm too busy. And you must have a time allotted to the children. Population growth is everybody's problem. Nicky Bestman, how you doing, my brother? Population growth is everyone's problem. Samuel Carr, how you doing? Population growth is everyone's problem. So the grooming of a child is not only rested on the shoulders of the parent. That's why if you are in the community and this child is going astray, you as a sound-minded person, you try to chastise that child. That's why some of I heard people say in charity. No, it's not charity, it's chastity, to chastise somebody. Chastity begins at home and ends abroad. So when you chastise that child, what happens? That child grows up to be the best version. That child grows up to be the best version. And that child will be a proud to the society. It is not only the parent. So what we see today, now, it has become a serious embarrassment, a national embarrassment to us. Our friends who are out there in the streets, who we call Zogos. Based on the laissez-faire attitudes of their parents to get them upright and directed in a positive way, which of course some of the parents tried, but they did not. Now the children are out there. They are now national embarrassment. Who all feel the brunt of it? We all feel the brunt of it. Though that child belonged to a particular family, but who feel the brunt of that child's action? The entire society feel the brunt of that child's action. So those children that are out there, it started from the parent. The parent brought forth these children into the world. Yes. It is on the society and the parent to groom that child to be a responsible citizen. So that where comes in the religious leaders or religious institutions, the schools that they go to, the environment that they live in, and that of the people who they interact with. So you see, they have now become a national embarrassment. So there are communities now, you don't walk freely. You jetted because you know very well when you were valuable, you walk in those areas, you will be harmed. By who? Those children that have become wayward. Are they bothering their parents alone? No. They are reaching out to other people who don't even know about their upbringing. You see that? So these are things that we try to proffer to the Ministry of Youth and Sports by introducing a national mentorship program. This program will actually help to transform a lot of young people in the society and bring back that sanity. Because trust me, I always say to people, when I feel that I'm getting, dull in my acts, I leave from here and go to Ghana. Because when you wake up in the morning in Ghana, everybody busy. They go to do the normal from school, they go to work from work, they go to some kind of trade, something to get themselves, up to date with the day-to-day activities as life progresses. But in Liberia here, we find most of us, we take entertainment at the highest level instead of putting time to education. The last Sunday, which was when? Yes, they're going Sunday, right? Which one of you visited the brunch, the brunch, I call it, the brunch or the gathering? We saw scores of young people gathered at that place. Some portrayed nudity, some were involved into alcohol and drug addiction, some were involved into all sorts of things that are even called for young people. So if we have these kind of continuous activities and that is not guarded in a responsible manner, what's going to happen? The same population, because the young people make up 75%, I stand to be corrected, of the population of the country. So if these young people are continuously engaged into unproductive behaviors, what's going to happen? Who are we going to look up to take all power, the helm of power, or take all authority from the elder ones when their minds are abused, when they lack morals, they lack integrity? Come on, we say in the 21st century. Now, train up a child in the way he should go. When they get older, now depart from it. Yes, you are training the child at home, but how caring are you to focus on that child's interactions? That's why I always say to my 14-year-old daughter, come what may. It is behind me, you go to do some stuff. If I dare hear it, you're facing the wrath. Because I want you to dress modestly so that it adds value to you. It adds value to you. That's what you always say, Daddy, why? Every time because I want you to be that good child. We're talking about morals. We're talking about integrity. So if we have mentors, people mentoring our children, we will see the transformation that we want to see in our country. And on the national scene, we want the Ministry of Youth and Sports to take the bull by its horn by engaging into this mentorship program, bringing on board young professionals that will serve as mentors. You have people going to schools, and these schools creating the environment for mentorship. I'm always proud whenever my school, my alma mater is having her gala program. We have this program, Career Day. It's called Career Day. For the Gala Day celebration, prior to the Gala Day celebration, we have this Career Day where professionals go and showcase, talk to the students and how they became who they are today, and that we pass through the same words like you, and telling them how important it is to pay keen attention to their lesson and how they can develop their professional skills and realize the professional joining and stuff like that. So if you have these kinds of continuous programs in the various schools, like the children develop for themselves. Super Friday. The Super Friday was something that was all over the place here. It was like a wildfire. All schools were fully participating into that thing. Super Friday, you see the kids going on the beaches, you see the kids doing all sort of unorthodox things, until it came to we came to the realization that the Super Friday was not in a good intent, but rather the kids were going astray. That's why you see vast majority of the young children have engaged into drug intake. Most of the young children are engaged into all sort of unorthodox things because it started from that Super Friday thing. It started from that Super Friday. And it passed on now. We have other names for those gatherings. So it's a very good thing. We want to see that the Ministry of Youth and Sports take the bull by its horn in order to transform the minds of the young people, because this is your responsibility. By legislation in 1982, by an act, your function is to lead and coordinate national youth development and sports policies, programs, and activities to empower young people, build civic consciousness. See today, how many young people know about their constitutional rights? How many young people know about the national symbols, the national songs? How many young people can say, yes, I can stand up and sing for you the national anthem? How many young people can say, yes, I know my rights and responsibility as a young person? Come on. So the education needs to be provided. So that's why we need mentors. Can the children be children again? Children are now turning into parents at early ages. Babies, born babies. Come on. Let's get this commercial commitment. When we come back, we open the line so that we have this conversation. It's very important that we do so. So we're not talking politics. We know that politics is now the order of the day, but politics is not the major thing that we should be focusing on. We need to build the minds of the people, because I always say when the minds are developed, the eyes is going to appreciate the works of the hands. If the minds of the people not developed, the politicians will continue to ruin them and use them and abuse them. And we'll continue to be subjected to the cronyism and the style of leadership. But if this person who knows the roles and responsibility of a legislator or the various branches of government, he won't be ruined and fooled by a politician. Come on. Commercial commitment is next. This is the Afternoon Conversation. My name is Rufus Divine Cannon. Welcome to the program.
MS Africa Travel and Tour in partnership with Elevate Growth presents Blocon J Fest on Saturday, February 28th from 12 noon to 7 p.m. at the Era Supermarket parking lot. Come and shop, play, dance, and eat. Bring the kids for fun in our kids zone. Discover LIBERIA culture and tourism. Admission, adults $500, kids $200. Call 0887-600-036. Powered by Lone Star Cell, MTN, and Moreover Breeze. Blocon J Fest, love of Liberia.
My people, I get good news, so enjoy the lowest cash out fees in Liberia with MTN mobile money. Only 2% fee will be charged on any transaction, whether big or small. Cash out today for just small money from any of our 25,000 agents across Liberia. No call will go on your feet for your own money business. MTN Momo makes it easy, fast, and secure just for you. Dial *156# or download the MTN Momo app today to cash out with MTN Momo for just 2% fees. Fast, easy, and secure. Momo now we say key. You all want your mullet cheese. MTN.
if you want extra small money for the things that you're not expecting, let me tell you about Momo Loan. The fast and easy way to be free with money problem. Momo Loan, the new way of taking care of things when you not get money. The first thing you gotta do is to register *156*5# and you will select extra cash. Hey man, now that easy credit there. Momo Loan, they're not just giving you money, they are making you strong financially. Momo Loan are your fallback position, that you're dependable. Go get it. Don't wait, go register today and control your money power with Momo Loan. Momo Loan, extra money for the things that are important to you.
Oh yes, after the commercial commitment, we're back. The lines are now open and activated. 0887-105-105, 0778-665-073 are numbers to call this afternoon and form part of the program, The Afternoon Conversation, right here on Love FM 105.1. So the lines are open. We're talking about youth development. And of course, we made a recommendation that the Ministry of Youth and Sports through the government can actually develop a mentorship, a national mentorship program that will shift the daily routine and up the growth of the young people in the country. So 0887-105-105, 0778-665-073. We've been talking about other issues concerning young people. What is your own take? What's your own recommendation? Let's get to talk about it. It's right here on your preferred dial, 105.1. So as we await your calls, let's get to hear you. It's very important that we talk these things. I know you want to have the time to talk about politics, but mind you, we need to build our society. And how do we go about building the society? By proffering those ideas, the positive ideas for transformation. The minds are developed. Trust me, the eyes will appreciate the works of the hands. So how can the people appreciate the yellow machine when their minds are not developed? You seen it? Some of the things that we continue to say. When the people's minds are not developed, infrastructure development becomes a problem. They won't appreciate it because they don't know the value of it. All they see is politics. All they believe in is the politics. But if you have the minds of the people transformed, where you have mentees being mentored, giving them the sense of belonging, creating that sense of patriotism and nationalism, what's going to happen? These little things will matter. The little things will matter. Come on, let's talk. We know. It is not something that a lot of people will love to get engaged with, because we are not bashing and lashing at leaders, but we are proffering ideas. So you find these things, it is actually counterproductive to the ones whose minds are abused by politics. So they don't get engaged with these kinds of conversation, but we're not moved. In as much those faithful few that are listening and they take the message, and that will cause a level of transformation, okay? So 0887-105-105, 0778-665-073 are numbers to call and form part of the program this afternoon, right here on Love Radio 105.1. Let's hear you and let's talk about the things that matters. 0778-665-073, 0887-105-105 are numbers to call. Most of our friends, our young friends, are graduating. Some are getting masters, some are getting the doctorate degrees and all the kinds of stuff. How can they contribute to nation growth? Do we have a mentorship program that will cater to building the minds of the young people, to guide young people in a positive direction? These are things that we should be having conversation on. That's why we chose, as a responsible media institution with the farsightedness, to discuss these things. So let's hear from you, because you are the direct victims of whether it is good or it is bad. When things go on the right way, you become the direct beneficiary of it. When it goes on the wrong way, you become the direct beneficiaries of it, whether good or bad. So that's why we put it to you to allow you wade in, to talk about it. Because whatever you express, who told you that these people don't listen? They do listen. So you coming up to speak consciousness to the matter, they listen. And the conscious matter one will definitely work in the line to do the needful. Okay? So we want to hear from you. 0887-105-105. 077-865-073. Our numbers to call and actually form part of the program, the Afternoon Conversation, right here on Love FM 105.1. While we await your calls, let's get this brief out right here for you.
I know I get under the shadow of His grace and be disgraced. So yeah, so don't let He get me up and down. He get for me good. So I know I get under the shadow of His grace. His mercy, you gotta know that we know. Sit down, wait, just to sit down on my case. So I knew I was supposed to play to my head. Me when really I don't need my worry. Tell I rebel, you won't make me run away. Then you can't summon my time, I don't know my way, my time. I don't know the devil, you know, seeing it. Nobody hold a fire, my devil, not cable liar. Listen, there evil arrow, but who's in the person saying, I have been God who is powerful and bigger than you think. What do you think? Say, everything I lost, you get about serving. No serving, can't. Say, once I have me, I have all I need. We have a great sufficient for me. And I believe, as you can see, I'm a testimony. That the press carry me, oh, and I'm me. And I'm a who's about. That the over carry me, oh, and I'm me. And I'm who's about. That the press carry me, oh, and I'm me. And I'm who's about. That the over carry me, oh, and I'm me. And I'm who's about. I know I get on the shadow of His grace and be disgraced. So don't let He get me up and down. You wanna know that we know, I know when I use me. He said she's mine, yes, I'm a choose. They wanted to erase money, but they didn't know how to go on my knees. My papa say, my put you do, now they roll, now they dig, now they sell for the inside. Although I walk through the valley of death, and when I fear no evil, I swear, I know greater is inside of me than the evil and the wicked that I run it all inside. If you like get me where I'll be this time, remove your hand, let me fall so high. I was there right 10,000 times at a time, but I stay there. I am a God who is powerful and bigger than you think. What do you think? Say everything I lost, you get about serving. No serving.
Oh yeah, 0778-665-073, 0887-105-105. The numbers to call this afternoon and from part of the Afternoon Conversation right on Love Radio 105.1. Oh yes, we're talking about youth development, the introduction of the National Mentorship Program, what impact will it have on the young generation. Let's get to hear from you, man. The lines are activated. 0887-105-105, 0778-665-073.
place, oh yeah. So don't let it get me up and down, you get for me, so I know I get out of the shadow of His grace, it's spicy, baby. You gotta know that we know, sit down where it's just to sit down on my case. Surround me was spoke to play to my head. Me when really I don't make my worry. Tell I rebel to want me run away. Then you can't summon my dad, my away, my dad. You know the devil, you know, seeing it. Nobody holy fire, my devil, not cable liar. Listen, that evil arrow, but who's in the past, who's in the I haven't all you is powerful and bigger than you think. What do you think? Say everything I lost, you get about serving. Oh, serving times. Say once I have me, I have all I need. Yeah, your grace sufficient for me. And I believe, as I can see, I'm a testimony. And the press carry me, oh, and me. And I'm my house about. I Jehovah carry me, oh, and me. And I'm about. And the press carry me, oh, and me. And I'm my house about. I Jehovah carry me, oh, and me. And I'm about. I know I get out with the shadow of His grace and be His grace. So don't let it get me up and down, yeah, for my grace. You gotta know what I know when I use me.
Yes, thanks to Flossie for that beautiful song. As we talk about young talents, this is one of the youngest talents in our country. You know, yes, she's very brilliant in her art. So you see, when we tap into these kinds of talents, what's going to happen? We see the transformation taking place. We see a lot of young people now. Come to think about it. Content creation, you see a lot of young people engaging into content creation because they see the benefits, they see the glamour that is attached to content creation. You see? So when you come up with positive ventures, we come up with positive things, it will serve as a roadmap for youth development. Oh, yes. So that's why we want this to be mandatory. Our legislators, you can come over and act that we come up with a bill and work towards it to put it into law that it is mandatory that every institutions, government-owned run institutions, make available slots for young people to develop in the field of studies. Every vacation time. Yes. Create a slot that should be allotted for young people, aspiring young professionals. So, okay, during this vacation, while school is closed for the semester or so, this batch of young people will be absorbed into the system because they have the passion for this profession. They will have first-hand, interaction in the field of studies. Let's say those are doing electricity, they go to the LEC and other institutions. Those are involved with road connection, those who are, how to call themselves, engineers or will be engineers. They have the opportunity to go to public works. Those who are in the banking and finance area have opportunity to go to the Central Bank of Liberia and other monitoring agencies, institutions like the Finance Ministry and so, to get that first-hand, knowledge, to see how the environment looks like. These are things that we should be putting into place since we want to get the minds of the young people transformed. And we ought to do that. These are recommendations, these are strategies to get the young people to focus on those positive ventures. We're talking about economic growth. We're talking about sustainability. Come on, see how many young people are in the streets. And thanks so kindly to those institutions or individuals who have created what we call vocational schools. And I must give it up to the guy who owns For Life Zoe. You see what has happened? The opening of that institution, now that we have opportunity afforded us in the hundreds for those who are trained in the areas of excavator and other kind of thing, excavator operation. You see, the For Life Zoe school now, putting out graduates, these young people now are prepared for the job market to handle these excavators for the various counties that have come, the yellow machines that we're busting out and all happen around here for. You see what creativity does? So these are people that government need to spend, get into collaboration with to give them subsidies because they are breeding up professionals. So trust me now, we don't need to go and import experts to come and be operating these excavators and paying them thousands of dollars. Now, we can proudly say these excavators will be operated by Liberians themselves. The ones who are already been trained by institutions and the ones that are trained by the For Life Zoe school there, the guys are prepared. Men and women are prepared now to take on the authority, to take on the opportunity. You see what we're talking about? Human resource development. You see organizations coming to the country bringing in experts. And some of these experts, some of us, we are privileged to work in the NGO sectors. We know most of these experts that come, they are not up to the task. It's not a firm, they're not up to the task. The raw data, the raw material, the raw approach to the work, you, the local staff, you do them and provide professional reports. But they get somebody who come from outside, only sit and just to do monitoring, and they are paid thousands of dollars. But if you now, somebody coming into your country to carry on some exploration or other things, you already have these trained young people ready to be hired. There's no need of you bringing in experts to come and do the role, to play the role that a citizen that is well equipped and have vast knowledge in that field to do. You see what we talk about? Empowerment, building the minds of the young people, getting the young people engaged. So you see what the job creation, just from the yellow machine. You know how many young people will have job opportunities? You see that? So those of you who always want to politicize things, those of you who always want to add politics to everything, this is just a clear picture of who you are and where you want to see our country. Anyone who has the mind of development, anyone who has the mind of transformation will never think in a negative manner concerning things that will bring out transformation and bring out opportunities for people. Just an individual, you know how many miles attached to just one man that will be employed at that institution, that will be operating excavator and all the kind of stuff. You know how many miles attached to that one person? Then we all around the place politicizing things here. You know how many miles attached to one person? So you're taking about 400 people. You're taking about 400 people to be employed. So if you have, let's say, 3 miles attached to that one man, making it 4, and you have 400 of them employed. So 3 times the 400, you know how many people will have the opportunity? Come on. Sometimes some of you politicians, it beats my imagination. It only shows that the evil you are. It only shows the limitation that you want the people to remain under that shackle of bad governance, under that shackle of not improving themselves, abusing the minds of the people. Oh, it is bad, and the thing, come on. We're talking about youth development. How many of you investing in the young people to be developed educationally? But you take pride in putting young people, putting them in box, making them to turn out on thoughts, to go and disrupt positive ventures. You take pride in that, spending thousands of dollars to do that. But to develop just a single one of them, you don't see it possible. You don't deem it necessary. But when it comes for you to push your agenda, your evil agenda, this is where you look in the direction of the young people. So if you mind the young people who are engaged into positive ventures, the young people have mentors that are mentoring them positively, you think somebody will go waste their time to be standing holding placard around here? No. That young man or that young woman know time is of her essence. She will not go stand on that line just for $20 business, because he or she knows when he acquired this knowledge, it will give him thousands of dollars. That is even far better than or far worth your $20 you will give him. That his life will be at risk. His life will be put on the line. So sometimes consciously, you people, you need to sit and ask yourself and make why you make decisions. That's why I continue to say the media plays a pivotal role in all that is happening in our country. The information that we disseminate to the people has a major role to play in their lives and the transformation of the country. So if we say that, nobody's saying you should be praise thinkers. But what kind of message are you sending out to the people? Is it a message of segregation? Is it a message that will cause division? You must be ashamed of yourself, because, mind you, we're talking about transformation. The country will never remain what it is. As year comes, people progress. Things around them change. So as the man, that's what the Bible says, as the Bible write the poet, as a man thinketh, so is he. So if we sit there and just be thinking idly, that's how idle our surrounding will be. That's how idle our attitudes will be. But if we have the time to bring up that positive venture, to engage into positive things that will transform the young people, the vast majority of our population, the young people are empowered. The young people are engaged in a positive way. Trust me, will fast develop. 0887-105-105, 0778-665-073 are numbers to call, and let's talk about these things. We're talking about transformation and engagement of the Ministry of Youth and Sports by implementing a national mentorship program, or establishing a national mentorship program that will help tackle some of the menace we have in our society today amongst the young people. But yes, your voices need to be heard. You need to make that policy statement. Okay? We need to do these things. What are the contents that we are putting out there on our various platforms? Are they transformational or are they divisive? Zero 0887-105-105. I wait your calls. We have a few minutes to go. Let's hear from you. Let's get to talk the talk as we walk the walk. Right here on Love Radio 105.1.
Sit on red, just to sit on my case. So I'm here, smoke to play to my head. Me when really I don't need my body. Tell her about the one make me run away. Then you can summon my dad, you're my away with that. You know the devil, you know, seeing it. But by the holy fire, my devil in a cable liar. It's an evil arrow, but who's in it, I'm saying. I have the God who is powerful and bigger than you think. More than you think. Say everything I lost, you get up stabbing. Oh, stabbing times. Say once I have me, I have all I need. Will lay grace sufficient for me? And I believe, as you can see, I'm a testimony. That the press carry me, oh, and I'm me. And I'm a mom's about. That you ever carry me, oh, and I'm me. And I'm about. That the press carry me, oh, and I'm me. And And I'm a who's about a Jehovah carried me, oh, and me. And I'm a who's about. I know I get on with the shadow of His grace and be this person. So don't let me get me up and down where I run, get from my person. You wanna know what I know, but I know when I use me. He said she's mine, yes, I'm choosing her. They wanted to erase money, but they didn't know how to run my knees. My papa say, my puchudu, not a whole lady, not a self for the inside. Although I walk through the valley of death, and when I fear no evil, I swear, I know greater is inside of me than the evil and the wicked that I already all inside. If you like, get me where I'm in the skies. Remove your hand, let me fall down so high. I was there rise 10,000 times, every time I fall, while I stay there. I have a God who is powerful and bigger than you think, more than you think. Say everything I lost, you will get about 7, no 7 times. Say once I have him, I have all I need. Only grace sufficient for me, and I believe. As you can see, I'm on testimony. Now the grace carried me, oh, and I need. And I'm a man who's about a Jehovah carried me, oh, and I need. And I'm a man who's about a grace carried me, oh, and I need. And I'm a man who's about a Jehovah carried me, oh, and I need. And I'm a man who's about I know I get out in the shadow of His grace and be this person. So don't let me get me up and down where I run, you forever grace. You wanna know that we know that I know when I use me. Shadow of His grace and be this person. So don't let me get me up and down where I run, you forever grace. You wanna know that we know that I know when I use me. He said she's mine, yes, I'm choosing her. They wanted to erase money, but they didn't know how to run my knees. My papa say, my puchudu, not a whole lady, not a self for the inside. Although I walk through the valley of death, and when I fear no evil, I swear, I know greater is inside of me than the evil and the wicked that I already all inside. If you like, get me where I'm in the skies. Remove your hand, let me fall down so high. I was there rise 10,000 times, every time I fall, while I stay there. I have a God who is powerful and bigger than you think, more than you think. Say everything I lost, you will get about 7, no 7 times. Say once I have him, I have all I need. Only grace sufficient for me, and I believe. As you can see, I'm on testimony. Now the grace carried me, oh, and I need. And I'm a man who's about a Jehovah carried me, oh, and I need.
Oh yes, Belly. 5 minutes to go. Let's get to hear from you, folks. 0778 665 073 0887 105 105. Our numbers to call. Let's talk about youth development. Oh yes, you see our young girls nowadays, most of the vocational schools, they have enrolled. And they are making use of their time. They are making use of their energy. They no longer look up to men to spearhead those ventures in their life, to say, oh yes, I got to sleep with a man before I get 1 or 2 cents for myself. No, our sisters, bulk of them no longer do these things because they have got the concept that they need to be empowered. And this empowerment comes about the vocational institutions that they have enrolled, and the things that they are learning there, and showcasing their talents. You see how important it is? Yes. So a woman who knows herself and has that value and look around, and that she can put 1 and 2 together to make her own cash, she won't look at herself for somebody to abuse her sexually before she get that $100 or that $200 to make living. No. Because what she have acquired, the skills she have acquired from that school, she can put it to use to get more than that $200 that you want to use to sleep with her, or that $50 or $75 or $30 or $20. You see how important it is for you to empower the young people? Look around today. Look in the streets. Though we still have some of our friends who are still languishing around, but bulk of the people who you used to see all around in the street hanging out, they are non-productive women, they are non-productive men, because they went to these vocational institutions, they have acquired knowledge, and now they find themselves creating jobs for themselves. Oh yes, most of them are even turned out to be entrepreneurs. You see how important it is for you to create an enabling environment for young people to acquire knowledge and see themselves as game changers. Oh yes, the young people now see themselves as game changers. No politician just come around here to ruin their lives. They say, oh, let's go on a protest, I'll give you $50, I'll give you $20. But that man know the time you're going to take holding placard, he can make thousands of dollars from that time he will spend holding placards. This is where, when these politicians come out to induce you or to get your attention, they won't get it. And that's how they will come to their senses and start to do the right thing, because they know you who were vulnerable, you're no longer vulnerable to them. You have acquired the knowledge to make your own bucks. You will never submit to those chicaneries of the politicians. But yes, that's the reality. So the Ministry of Youth and Sports, you have a daunting task. You have a daunting task, and how to accomplish this task is for you to engage into a mentorship program, a national mentorship program, and not a Monrovia-based thing, but in the rural areas or parts of the country. So these are things that we want you to know, and that's why we took up the time to talk about them. So until we have the time again, this is how we love to conclude on today's edition of the program, The Afternoon Conversation. It was wonderful having you to listen. And to those of you who play a viewing role, we appreciate. My name is Rufus Divine Cannon. I lead another fellow, first among equals. Of course, I'm destined for greatness. It was wonderful being here with you. We were talking about youth development, and we did an open proposal or letter to the Minister of Youth and Sports, calling for the establishment of a national mentorship program. So thank you so kindly, and follow the rest of our broadcast. Coming up at 4 is the program Educational Pathway.
I know of no safe depository of the ultimate powers of society but the people themselves. And if we think them not enlightened enough to exercise their control with a wholesome direction, the remedy is not to take it from them, but to inform their direction by education. Join Love FM 105.1 and Love TV Live for the program, The Afternoon Conversation.